Hey guys, welcome to this video. In this video, I'll be reviewing the SONY HDR-AS20. This camera also includes a shockproof and waterproof housing and 2 adhesive mounts. This compact point of view action cam have a CMOS Exmor-R sensor with 11.9 megapixels. The lens of this action cam is a Tessar Zeiss with a field of view of 170 degrees. If you enable the image stabilization, the field of view will be reduced to 120 degrees. The aperture or the opening of the lens is f2.5. This camera is very compact. Its dimensions are 8.2 by 4.7 by 2.4 centimeters and only weighs 58 grams. If you add the battery and the protective case, it will weigh about 90 grams, which makes it very easy to bring everywhere. The protective case that comes with this camera is water resistant up to 5 meters underwater. This camera is entirely made in plastic except for the lens. Its build quality is pretty good. If you apply too much force and the side it opens, it will definitely break very easily. It would be nice if the camera had a lock system so the cap does not move easily. Other than that, this camera seems pretty sturdy. This camera is very simple to use. You only need 3 buttons to change the settings. These buttons are next, previous, and the record button, which also acts as a select button whenever it is meant to. These buttons are very easy to access even when you have gloves. You also have a rec hold switch to be sure that the rec button is not pressed when it is not meant to. On the back of this camera, under the cap, you will find the battery and the micro SD or memory stick micro card compartment. It also have a cap in the bottom. Under this cap, you will see a multimedia port, a micro HDMI port, an expansion connector for use with the aforementioned camcorder cradle, and finally a port which lets you use an external microphone. This camera have a good design, but I will still make some changes to it. I think it will be way better if the bottom of the camera will be flat so we are able to keep it in place on a flat surface. If you are planning to record while the camera is charging, it won't work. The battery lasts about 2 hours, but it really depends on what you're doing. If you are filming at the maximum quality and frames per second, it will last way less than if you are filming in the lowest quality. You also have to make sure to turn off the Wi-Fi if you're not using it, as the Wi-Fi uses a lot of power. And also to turn off your camera if you're not using it. You can choose to film at 1080p at 30 frames per second or at 60 frames per second. In 720p at 120 frames per second, 60 frames per second, or 30 frames per second. And finally in 480p at 30 frames per second. This camera takes 12 megapixels pictures and also have an intervalometer option. With that option you will be able to make time lapses. If you want to film upside down, there is an option to flip the way the camera records and take the pictures. There is a scene option which lets you choose between normal and water. In the lapse option you will be able to choose how much time the camera will have to wait to take pictures while it is in the intervalometer mode. You will have a plain option, an auto turn off option, a beep option which enables or disables sound when you press a button, a date option, and other options such as language, reset, format, and more. This camera have a built-in Wi-Fi option which lets you see your content and copy it to your smartphone. It also lets you live stream to your smartphone. You only need to install the application named Play Memories and enable Wi-Fi on your camera. As you can see, the camera does not have a screen to see what you are filming. If you want to see what you are filming, there are 2 options. The first is to enable Wi-Fi and to live stream to your smartphone. The other one is to buy an external display which is compatible with your camera. If you want to film during night, the screen on this camera does not have any brightness in the dark environments, so you will have to use light in order to be able to adjust the settings in the camera during the night. You will now see some pictures taken with this camera. You will now see some videos taken with this camera. I think this camera is good especially when you are in bright environments. The quality of video and picture is good, but when you are in very dark environments, the quality deteriorates very fast. It seems that the shutter speed is a little too long, so the pictures appear with motion blur, and there is also a lot of noise. I personally would recommend this camera, but with all the other options you have in the market right now, it is very hard to say that this camera is the best at this price point. It is up to you to compare video and pictures footage and to determine which camera is best for you. Thank you for watching my video, I hope you liked it, and I will see you in the next video. In this video I'm going to show you how I upload my pictures on Instagram. In this video I will show you one of my favorite applications, which is named Pocket. Pocket is an application which lets you save items to read them later, even when you don't have internet access.